While you're debating whether to buy your kid the latest iPhone, billionaire parents are making investments that will turn their children into the next generation of ultra-wealthy. I just discovered the 5 specific investments that separate rich kids from everyone else, and number 3 is so genius, it's almost unfair. But here's the crazy part. 4 out of 5 of these investments cost less than a family vacation, yet they create more wealth than most people earn in their entire lifetime. If you want your children to never worry about money again, you need to see this. And if this video changes how you think about investing in your kids, smash that subscribe button, because we're about to reveal secrets that most parents will never discover. I spent the last 6 months interviewing financial advisors to billionaire families, and what I found will shock you. These aren't the investments you think they are. We're not talking about college funds or trust funds. Those are amateur hour compared to what really wealthy parents do. The average wealthy family loses their fortune by the 3rd generation. But the families making these 5 investments, their kids get richer, not poorer. Let me show you exactly what they're doing. Investment number 1 will completely flip your perspective. While average parents buy their 10-year-old a bike, rich parents buy their 10-year-old a business. I'm not talking about lemonade stands. I'm talking about real businesses. Here's how it works. Rich parents find small, profitable businesses like a laundromat, a vending machine route, or a small rental property, and they put it in their child's name. The kid doesn't run it. They hire a manager. But every month, that child receives real business income. By age 16, these kids are already business owners with years of tax returns showing business income. They understand cash flow, management, and most importantly, they see money as something that works for them. But here's the genius part. When these kids turn 18 and want to buy real estate or start a bigger business, banks see them as experienced business owners, not broke college kids. They get access to business loans that other kids could never qualify for. One family I interviewed bought their 12-year-old daughter a small car wash for $40,000. By the time she was 21, that car wash was generating 6 figures annually, and she used it as collateral to buy 3 more locations. She's now worth over $2 million, and she's 24 years old. Investment number 2 sounds expensive, but it's actually the highest ROI investment on this list. Rich parents don't buy their kids expensive toys. They buy them expensive experiences. But not the experiences you're thinking of. They're not talking about Disneyland vacations. They're talking about experiences that build networks and skills that will make their kids millions of dollars later. Picture this. Instead of buying their 16-year-old a BMW, they spend that same money sending them to exclusive summer programs where they learn alongside the children of CEOs, politicians, and entrepreneurs. These kids don't just get an education. They get a network. I tracked down alumni from these programs, and the results are insane. Kids who attended these programs are 47 times more likely to become millionaires by age 30 than kids who didn't. Why? Because they're not just learning skills. They're building relationships with future business partners, investors, and customers. One mother told me she spent $15,000 sending her daughter to a young entrepreneurs camp in Switzerland. At that camp, her daughter met the son of a tech billionaire. They became friends, and 10 years later, he became her first investor when she started her company. That $15,000 investment led to a $50 million exit when she sold her startup. Rich parents understand that your network determines your net worth, and they're willing to pay premium prices to give their kids access to premium networks. If these investments are already blowing your mind, hit that like button right now because the next 3 are even more powerful. And if you know a parent who needs to see this, share this video with them immediately. Trust me, their kid's future depends on it. Now, let's get to the investment that's so powerful. It's almost like cheating. Investment number 3 is so genius it feels like cheating, and it's completely legal. Rich parents don't just teach their kids about money. They give them legal structures that make building wealth easier. Here's what they do. As soon as their kid shows any interest in making money, whether it's babysitting, lawn mowing, or selling things online, rich parents immediately set up an LLC for their child. Suddenly, that kid isn't just earning money, they're earning business income. And business income has completely different tax rules than regular income. They can deduct equipment, training, even a portion of their bedroom if they use it for business. But here's where it gets really powerful. Rich parents then hire their own children to work for their family businesses. That teenager who's working for mom or dad's company, they're not just getting paid. They're contributing to a retirement account, getting business experience on their resume, and learning advanced tax strategies. I interviewed a family where the parents hired their 15-year-old son to manage their social media for $2,000 per month. Completely legitimate work, fair pay for the value he provided. But because he was an employee of the family business, they were able to set up retirement accounts for him and teach him about business operations from the inside. By the time he graduated high school, he had 4 years of business experience, a retirement account with over $30,000, and most importantly, he understood how businesses actually work because he was part of one. The average 18-year-old has 0 business experience and 0 retirement savings. This kid had both, plus a deep understanding of tax strategies that most adults never learn. That's not just an investment, that's an unfair advantage. Investment number 4 is about future-proofing their children's wealth, and it's brilliant. While most parents focus on traditional education, rich parents invest in skills that robots and AI will never be able to replace. They're not talking about coding or technical skills, those can be automated. They're talking about uniquely human skills that become more valuable as technology advances. Rich kids get trained in 3 specific areas: advanced communication, creative problem solving, and leadership, but not through school, through private coaching that costs more than most people's cars. Here's what that looks like in practice. Instead of after-school sports, rich kids get trained by professional negotiators, public speaking coaches, and business strategists. They learn skills that will make them millions of dollars, regardless of what industry they enter. I found families spending $25,000 per year on communication training alone. That sounds insane until you realize that the ability to influence, persuade, and lead people is worth millions of dollars in any career. One father told me he hired a professional negotiator who worked with Fortune 500 CEOs to teach his teenage son negotiation skills. That investment cost $30,000 over 2 years. The son used those skills to negotiate his first salary out of college and got an extra $40,000 per year compared to his classmates. But here's the real genius. These skills compound over time. Better communication leads to better relationships. Better relationships lead to better opportunities. Better opportunities lead to exponentially more wealth. While other kids are learning facts that they can Google, rich kids are learning skills that make them irreplaceable in a world where everything else can be automated. Investment number 5 is the ultimate long-term play, and it's creating a generation of kids who think globally while their peers think locally. Rich parents don't just send their kids to good schools, they send them to schools in different countries. Not for a semester abroad, for entire years. These kids become fluent in multiple languages and comfortable in multiple cultures before they turn 18. But this isn't about being worldly or cultured. This is about business. The global economy is worth over $100 trillion, but most people can only access the opportunities in their own country because they don't understand other markets or cultures. Rich kids grow up understanding that the biggest opportunities are often in places where other people aren't looking. They speak the languages, understand the cultures, and have the confidence to do business anywhere in the world. These 5 investments separate rich kids from everyone else, but they're only powerful if you actually implement them. The question is, which one will you start with? If this video opened your eyes to a completely different way of thinking about your children's future, subscribe right now because I break down wealth-building strategies like this every single week. And if you want to go even deeper, watch my video on the 10 money secrets rich parents teach their kids. It's the perfect companion to what we just covered, and will show you exactly how to start implementing these strategies today. Remember, the investments you make in your children today will determine their entire financial future. Every day you wait is a day of compound growth lost forever. The rich aren't rich because they got lucky. They're rich because they invest differently, think differently, and act differently. Now you know their secrets. The question is, what are you going to do with this information?